Welcome back. It's been a little while since my last video. I guess about a year, and I apologize for that. Let me first say what have I been doing. I have been during this pandemic working on a lot of PlayStations, a lot of PlayStation 4s, and I have not done any videos because I'm a lazy bum apparently. But there's been a lot of interesting repairs, and one of the things that kept me from doing videos was I got a new microscope with a trinocular port, but I did not get a camera at the time, so I haven't been able to get good video off the microscope. But I have a camera now, so we're going to try this and see how this works. And this is something I've had opened up before, and I will show you what it is. Now, this is what we're working on. It's in pieces, yes. This is a PlayStation 4 Slim. And as you can see, I have a note. The south bridge is bad on this one. And I will show you how I determined that the south bridge was bad. But I left it in pieces and ordered the parts. The parts available, you have to get it from China. I just got some in. I got 3 in just the other day to fit these Slims. And I've done this repair before. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes not. But the chip we're going to be replacing today is this right here, known as the south bridge. And the symptoms of this one's, the problem this unit had was no power. I mean, you press the power button, it didn't do anything. There's no beeps, there's no lights, there's nothing. And of course, the first thing you think is power supply. And I have a spare supply. I swapped in a spare supply, no change. And then I checked with the meter and confirmed I had my 5-volt standby. And so it was just wouldn't do anything. So, and in the past, from experience, I know that is likely the cause. The actual power button, see if I can find it. The power button actually goes to this system controller right here. That's what connects the power buttons, the eject button, the LEDs. They go to this. But then there's apparently some communication between this and this south bridge IC. And I've found a place I could check for a short on the underside. You know, there's a lot of bypass capacitors underneath this thing right in here. And I'll show you a close-up later. But I found a place where when this thing fails, you'll see a short across one of these bypass capacitors. And let me try to show you where that is. But we're going to try to replace this today. And hopefully it all goes well. We've got a working unit that I can sell. So let's get it inside. I'm outside in the garage right now. This is where I take them apart. Take them apart, blow them out with compressed air, and I'll take the circuit board inside for actual work under the microscope. Well, here we are inside at the workbench. And this is the PS4 Slim PC board we're working on. Here you can see the part number, serial model number. And the area that we are interested in is directly behind the south bridge IC, right in this area. Let me give you a close-up view under the microscope. And I'll point out to you. You see these, this would be a landmark for you to look at if you're looking at the back of this board. You see these 3 inductors right here. Right here is where I usually check, and if I've got a bad south bridge IC, I will have a short. So let's check that right now. Let's see what we have. We're reading about 7 ohms. So that's pretty much a short. That should be, I believe, several hundred ohms, maybe even 1,000. I can't remember. If I remember, we'll try to check that after we replace this IC. But that's what our issue is today. Let's see if we can replace that. It is shorted. Here are the replacement ICs I just got in. Show you the part number of them, if you can see that. CXD 90042GG. And these are already reballed for us, so if we can just successfully get the IC off the board without lifting any traces, it'll be a good day. let's see what we can do. Well, here's a shot kind of showing you how I usually set up the circuit board when I'm getting ready to remove one of these. Of course, I've got it hanging off the edge of my desk with this silicone mat underneath it, and kind of folded over the edge of my desk because I don't want to burn the desk. I'm going to be heating the IC from below, heating the bottom side of the circuit board. And I'll add a lot of flux around the edge of this, of course, some Amtech flux. And I'm using my hot air station on maximum airflow and maximum temperature. And I've got the nozzle off of it. And I'll have to kind of position my air station base so I can get underneath the board here. I'm going to heat underneath this chip. And then what I'll do is I'll check it with like a piece of bent wire or something like this. I want to push against it and see it move to make sure it's totally free before I try to lift it off of there. We'll try to zoom in and give you a little better view of what's going on. Well, let's get started. Yeah, we're starting to wiggle. We're there. Do not want to force this up, because I've done that before. And it's a bad day when you do that. There we are. I think that was a pretty clean lift. Okay, we'll get it under the microscope and we'll see how clean of a lift that was. Here we are under the microscope, and you can see I have not cleaned it up any yet. You can just see though all the little balls of solder left behind. I don't see any damage. I have tried to move it a little too quick and ended up lifting slightly some of these corner traces. I think it was some of these in the very corner. I was able to put them back down and everything was fine, but it was scary. But this looks pretty good. Yeah, let's see if we can do a little cleanup. Get the soldering iron fired up. I should have already done that. See if we can find some solder wick or solder braid, what do you want to call it, and get this cleaned up and prepped. Well, I think we have our pads cleaned off pretty well. We're at the point now I need to add a little bit of flux, not as much as I use taking the chip off, but a small amount, kind of spread evenly around on these pads is what I'd like to have. So just a dab of it. May need more than that. I might take a Q-tip or something just to spread this around. I want it kind of evenly spread across all the pads. I may put it back under the microscope so I can see it. But so you get the idea. I have a thin layer of flux down. See if we can get one of these ICs out of the package. And there are alignment marks on the board here. Give you a shot of these nice pretty leaded solder balls. And there is a dot here from designating pin 1 and a dot on the IC. So let's set it right there. And I need to get this just the right spot. There are corner alignment marks. I'm going to have to look at this under the microscope just to make sure I get it lined up just right. because you really only have one good chance of doing this, and then you'll have to reball it. Let me get my microscope camera ready. All right, she's on. Just want to look and make sure this alignment is just right. All right, here you can see there's our pin 1 marker. And you can see here, but you see the corner markers right there? That little bright copper trace. There. We are almost in the right spot, maybe a little bit to the right. Probably too much to the right. Back and forth we go. That does not look bad. I can see the corner markers on all 4 corners. It's got some junk on it there. If I pull on it, I'm probably going to pull it out of position. So, okay. We're in the right spot. We look to be aligned. We've got a thin layer of flux. We've got to clean all this other flux off when I'm all done. All right. Hopefully we can heat this up now and she'll just dance right into position with no problem. In theory. Get this stuff out of the way. Here goes nothing. I have my wire standing by to push against it just so I can nudge it and see if it snaps back. I am still on maximum heat and maximum airflow because I like to get the board hot in a hurry so I can get it up to temperature and melt and get off of it. I'll get some light in here so hopefully I can see this thing start to settle down. I've not seen it move yet, but sometimes I don't see the initial settle. I'll have to check it here in a moment. I may have missed a little initial wiggle they like to do. Yep, she just snapped back. I think we're there. I'm going to stop right there. And maybe we'll try to get a view from the side up under the edge of the chip when it cools down. I'm not sure how well we'll be able to see up under the edge of this chip. Let's see if we can get a light up under there. My flashlight will work for more than a few seconds. You can see those balls up underneath there. Oh, come on, flashlight, cooperate. My battery is dying. I think we're in pretty good shape. Look up underneath there. Not bad. I can get the camera to focus. All right. Oh, and I almost forgot to check my resistance across that capacitor now that we've changed this. Right in here. All right, I am actually in continuity mode on my meter, but let's see. It's right here. There's the inductors. 500 ohms. With ground on negative and the positive probe like the capacitor there. Let me reverse it and just see what it shows. 470. So roughly it looks like 500 ohms. It may vary. This is still just slightly warm, but roughly 500 ohms looks like a good measurement on hopefully a good chip. Now let's go try it in the chassis. Well, she's back together enough to test. Let me get HDMI connected and a power cord. And I guess I need to get the monitor kind of in the shot here, if I could. Okay. Here goes nothing. I'm going to press the power button. We have a beep. We have a blue light. So you can see it there. It's more than we had before, and I thought I saw the monitor try to lock in for a second. I will reboot it. It's angry because it's lost power at some point. I think we're coming up. Give me a PS logo. Okay, close enough. We seem to be in Spanish, but it's saying I need to do a system hard drive check. I think we're going to be working. Rebooting again after the system check, or storage check is what it is. And there we are, the beautiful PS logo. Okay, let me finish then cleaning this thing up a little bit and fully assembling it, and we'll be ready to test her out fully with a game. So now that we're all back together, turn on my little monitor. It's got some power, HDMI, maybe a controller. And let's see if we've done any good. So far, so good. Sorry about the fan noise in the background. It's a little hot in the garage right now in August. Oops. Back up. I hit a button accidentally there. Let's see. Takes the disc all right.
Activision presents a smashing blast from the past,
And there you have it.
developed by vicarious visions.
Blu-ray drive is working well. She seems to be back to normal.
Crash Bandicoot!
Well, that's it for this repair, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed it in any way, if you found it educational, entertaining, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll be trying to put some more videos out soon. I've got a lot of repairs coming up. Just need to take the time to record them and edit them. So, thank you for your time. See you in the next repair.